Hi, welcome to Natural Health Radio. We are available today to help you with all of the expanded health issues that are in the news today, but I am missing my co-host, so Mark Allen is not with me today, but we are going to be drilling down into some of the most in the news kind of health issues that people wonder what is going on. Why is Zika virus the way it is? Why are all of these issues happening? And, why is it one person gets Zika, the other person with them doesn't, and they're bitten by a mosquito? So we want to talk about the immune system, which is your protection. That's your insurance policy. It's your internal insurance policy. So we need to really work on strengthening the immune system. We're going to talk about how to do that. So during the show, we're also going to talk a little bit about female and male hormones, prostate issues, and things that are in the news. And speaking about the news, I'd like to start off with what you see when you turn the TV on, even to watch the news. Any channel. In between, you have your infomercials, your advertisements from drug companies, and there's one after another. So you see this person coming on who's sick, but is also having a family, and it's very happy, and they're taking this drug and they're happy, and then they sing or they list the side effects in a sometimes a very pleasant voice, an upbeat voice. So we have to be aware of the subliminal programming that is happening when you watch these. So I think my first suggestion is going to be that you just press the mute. Whenever a commercial comes on, you've got that mute button. You don't have to listen to it, and you don't want that going into your consciousness, because then you start believing that everybody's sick, everybody needs a drug, and that, maybe this would be a drug for you to take at some point in the future. So this is how the big pharma sells. They're turning all of their advertisements into a more positive looking like advertisement, where people are happy, they're functioning, they are. And then, a brand new one I just saw, was with Boys to Men, where a woman goes into a pharmacy, right? And she's going to pick up a drug, and she asks what side effects are. And so Boys to Men sing with this glorious harmony that she will have gas, she will have this, she'll be a very gassy girl, and she will have all these symptoms. And they sing it so beautifully, and she's shaking her head no. And then, so they're making it like a production, like a Broadway production, like it's something good. And it's not, because that's why if you listen carefully when they give you the side effects, it'll say it could cause death, organ failure. So my recommendation is that the only ads you leave on are things about natural medicine. You don't see many of those, natural health. Any other ads but the pharmaceutical ads, you've got the mute button for that reason. And I think that's the best thing for our health, is to not have subliminal programming about our choices, right? So I think that would be the first thing that we really need to do, is take control to make new choices. And those choices could be completely healthy choices. Now, if anyone out there is thinking, oh, well, natural medicine doesn't work for everything, you're right. It doesn't work if you're in a car accident and you need to go to the emergency room. It does work for the trauma of that accident, because you could take arnica, arnica is a homeopathic remedy that in a 30C potency will work on the trauma that happens to your physical body, your emotional body, when there has been a catastrophic event or, a car accident or whatever. So, but you definitely need to go to an emergency room. Other than the emergencies, okay, pretty much natural medicine works on everything. Now, in order to not have a physical emergency, you could start in a preventive mode. You could start with a understanding and education about how to prevent health issues. And we'd like to talk a little bit about that today, because I think that's the key. The preventative model is a simple model, and it really creates a strong immune system. So let's look at how we eat. We all know what's healthy, what's not healthy. Some people have severe allergies to dairy, for example, because it's from another species. It's cow's milk or goat's milk. Okay, so we don't digest it very well, and most people and babies don't digest it very well. So we could either take a digestive enzyme with it, which is spending more money to take a digestive enzyme for something that you're allergic to, or we could choose almond milk, we could choose coconut milk, I like hemp milk. I think hemp milk is my favorite. It's the cleanest, and you can get that in the health food store. And it's in a little, cardboard box. It says organic or health. I think all hemp milk is organic and non-GMO. So those are the important things to look for. Dairy is a big problem because it is yummy. Let's face it, nothing like cheese on anything. Anything you want to put cheese on is delicious. However, it causes you to gain weight. It's easier to lose weight if you don't eat dairy. It causes congestion, bronchial congestion, lung congestion. It causes congestion in your body. It can cause constipation, or it can cause extreme loose bowels, one or the other. So the issue with dairy is they're getting closer to a dairy substitute that tastes similar to it and melts, and they're in the health food store. And look for the ones that are made from coconut milk. So there's dairy substitutes that are made from coconut milk, and they taste very close to cheese. Some of them taste better than cheese, and they melt. So the dairy substitute from coconut milk is the most, so far, like cheese. And you just have to try different things and make sure that there's no coloring or preservatives in it. And you can find that at any health food store. You just have to read the labels a little bit. You don't want to get soy cheese, okay, because there's other problems with soy. And the problems would be that it exacerbates estrogen dominance in men or women. It's not healthy is also proof that it's not good for the thyroid at all. So we need to, I would eliminate soy. I would look for the coconut cheese, hemp milk, and find things that taste yummy for you, that really taste good. And when you do that, then you've graduated. You're onto a different way of life, and that will grow. The other thing that's very good for people that they may not be aware of is fermented foods like sauerkraut, like raw organic sauerkraut. They make some unusual varieties today that actually have ginger and dill in it. And it's just phenomenal. So you may want to check out the fermented food section. They have beets, they have fermented garlic, although I don't know anyone who would want to eat it, but I hear it's very good. It's very sweet. They have all kinds of organic zucchini fermented, all kinds of things that I think in small amounts are very good for our digestive system, because good probiotic fermented foods are healthy, but not to eat a half a jar of it. Like to have, I know some people, oh, it's healthy, I'm gonna really have this for my lunch. I'll eat this whole jar for my lunch, and it's very good. So you probably want to have a couple of tablespoons only with a meal, and as a little side. That would be healthy because you would have your probiotics with your meal, and you wouldn't have to buy a pill. You could just eat that with your meal. You wouldn't have to buy a probiotic pill. The reality is that everything is available for you in a health food store. I just want to point out some other things that will be helpful. Many of the vegetarian meats are made from gluten or soy. Some of them, there's some new ones that look like a hamburger, and it's made from tapioca. It's very good. Okay, but the ones that are made from gluten, probably if you have a gluten sensitivity, I wouldn't recommend it, and I definitely would not recommend anyone eating the veggie meats that are veggie hot dogs, veggie sausage, veggie bologna, all that kind of stuff. I would avoid soy completely, including tofu. So we have to look at eating healthy, and it's very, very difficult to be a vegan today because of if you're working hard and you're exercising, you need protein. And sometimes protein powders are just not enough. There are some phenomenally great vegetarian plant protein that has around 25 grams of protein per serving. You'd a couple of scoops, put that in water, but you'd have to do that like 3 or 4 times a day, and sometimes it's not enough because that doesn't have all of the amino acids in it that meat does. So I would say organic chicken, organic poultry would be suitable, and to not have it deep fried, to have it bake it, cook it on the stove, grill it, whatever you want to do, saute it. But that I think would be very healthy to add. And if rather than doing that, some people do better on eggs. Some people do much better on organic eggs that they can have a couple a day for one meal, and then maybe have some plant protein for the rest of the meals. The one thing that is very important to include in your diet is green drinks. So let me tell you how I do mine. I make a green drink every day, and I include organic spinach, organic celery, organic zucchini. So I take a little bit of those. I use a Vitamix, and I probably fill up half the pitcher with that. And then I put water in, and then I put some organic blueberries, organic strawberries, or both in there. And I put maca in it, M-A-C-A, because it's great for your hormones. It's good for your adrenal glands. Maca is a wonderful root, maca. And you can get organic maca at the health food store. I also put in ginger. I get ginger root, and I chop it up, take the little, outside bark off, chop that up real fine, put that in there. And I also will put turmeric in the veggie drink. And then I put it on high on the Vitamix, and all you taste basically is the delicious blueberries. Once in a while, I will add chocolate. organic cacao once in a while. But I rather do it without, but sometimes it's just delicious and I want to do it that way. So we have the organic spinach, organic celery, organic zucchini. We have organic ginger that's peeled. We have turmeric. We have good water, maca, and blueberries, possibly sometimes, some raspberries, strawberries, maybe a little mango, maybe a quarter of an apple, and we just turn that thing on high and it makes a wonderful smoothie. And I will have that for breakfast, along with, like a gluten-free cereal or along with an egg or a soft-boiled egg. Now let's talk about eggs for a minute. Eggs are probably one of the animal protein, probably the cleanest if you get an organic egg. And soft-boiled eggs are the cleanest and most absorbable way to eat eggs. You don't want to fry it, okay? And you definitely don't want to fry it in oil or anything like that. So if you soft-boil it, then you've got all of the yolk that's liquid, that has a lot of B vitamins in it. It's excellent. And so if you had a soft-boiled egg or two in the morning, that would be good with your veggie drink. So the veggie drink should taste amazing. And, I like things that taste good. I mean, you can drink all kinds of things, but you have to learn to make it so it tastes great. And that makes starts your day right. You're eating something, drinking something that tastes awesome. You just have to try different things to make it taste that way. So that's breakfast for me. Now, you can also, instead of eggs, you can add oatmeal. So if you want to add organic gluten-free oatmeal, or you want to add a gluten-free cereal, and that works really well. So that is breakfast. I would suggest also poached eggs. That's another way where you can get that liquidy yolk. Okay, poached eggs. Now, the way that I poach them is, you put them in boiling water with vinegar, and it poaches it. And then you quickly pull it out, and there you've got it. And that's the way the restaurants make it. So breakfast, I take vitamins. So I'll take my Optimal Multi-Pro, which is great for adrenal glands, adrenal stress. I will take a DHA. I will take my herbs for the kidney, liver, colon, and the blood to keep the body detoxified. And I will do that, as well as taking ocean meds. That's for the immune system. So, and my minerals, the nanoionic multiple minerals with silica, phenomenal for your skin, your hair, your body, and a lot of people feel a lot of energy when they take the nanoionic minerals. So that's my breakfast routine. I like to get up in the morning and exercise and then eat breakfast. So for lunch is a whole other meal. You have so many options. You just have to think about what you have in your refrigerator, or if you're eating out, to find the most natural place to eat that's possible. And even when you go there, be careful. I don't like canola oil. I think it's difficult to digest, even organic canola oil. I don't eat foods that are prepared that are made with canola oil. Olive oil is different. So, there's wonderful things like hummus, like baba ganoush, which is eggplant and tahini. You could have phenomenal noodles. I have for many years eaten macrobiotic for maybe 2-3 years, a long time ago, and then I continue once in a while to eat those macrobiotic products. One of them that is the best tasting pasta I've ever had, it's called mugwort. Sounds like something from a Harry Potter movie, but it's called mugwort pasta, Mugwort. It's all mugwort. There's no wheat in it. A company makes it called Eden Foods, Eden, and it's not expensive and it's delicious. So I will make that pasta, and I will put a little bit of olive oil on it, sesame seed oil on it, a little bit of cayenne pepper or black pepper, and that's all you need because it's so tasty. So it's just about learning what to eat and giving your body 3 meals a day. If you have a blood sugar issue, you want to have a snack between each meal. That means you're eating 5 times a day. So if you eat your breakfast at 6 or 7 in the morning, around maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock, you want to have some celery with peanut butter that's stuffed in the celery, or almond butter, even better, and make it all organic. And you can have that as a snack, a few of those stalks with that, nut butter. And then in the afternoon, you might have another little smoothie, only different. You could make it a fruit and a hemp milk, and that would be a nice little afternoon nutrient blast. So we want to definitely make sure we're eating enough food for our body, for the energy that we are expending. Whenever we're really busy and we're thinking, even if we're sitting, we have to get up from sitting and we have to move. And that movement allows you to be healthier and your circulation to be better. And that's the most important thing, is we have to move to be healthy. We can't just sit there all day in a chair. But if you're going to sit there in a chair all day and you want to have a snack, make it the celery with the almond butter. That would be really good. So the other issue that we have whenever I watch TV and I see the infomercials, we have all of the fast food people. That's another one. You don't need to press it on mute because you already know what deep dish pizza does. You already know with pizza that's the crust is stuffed with everything in the world and cheese just oozing out of it. I mean, you can tell by looking at it, does this look like something that would be healthy in your body? So we have to pick things that are healthy for your body. We have to look for foods that are life-giving, life-promoting. And for dinner, one of the easiest things to do is just have a beautiful salad, not just organic greens, but also a little bit of spiralized zucchini. You can get a little spiralizer and make little rings out of the zucchini. I find if your food is cute, you eat it more. If it looks cute, if it looks pretty, oh, okay, that's good. So you want to definitely eat a salad during the day and that veggie juice in the morning. And in a salad, you could put radishes, daikon radishes, all kinds of vegetables and foods that are life-giving. Now, a lot of people say, well, I don't have time to cut up those vegetables and do all of this. Well, maybe you have an hour a week where you could get some vegetables, chop them up, put them in a glass container in the refrigerator. So when you want to cook, they're already chopped up. You just go in there and grab some things, throw it in a wok, or put it in a salad. So if you spend maybe an hour at the most chopping up things and getting them ready for the week, then when you want to eat, you just go and grab it and it's done. And for dinner, you could have organic chicken, you could have just organic turkey, or you can have vegetarian hamburgers. And I've tried one of those new ones in the store. I don't want to mention the name, but it's got the word meat in it and it's got the word beyond in it. And if you go to the health food store and you look for that, it tastes as close as you can imagine to beef. And it's made out of tapioca. It's pretty healthy. And they're nice and thick. And there's protein in it. So you might check that out and get a beautiful gluten-free bun that's nice and soft and then you put all of your accoutrements on it, your onions and lettuce and tomato and all of those things. You can make that for yourself. The other thing I like to do with that veggie meat product is I like to make tomato sauce, and instead of putting beef in it or animal products, I put that in. And I saute that first, and then I put the tomato sauce on it, and it tastes really excellent, like it is meat. Tastes just like meat. So we have to understand that growth is about taking a step in a different direction, in a direction that may be healthier for you and your family. So food is a wonderful part of it. So many people ask me, because my father was a very well-known culinary artist from Switzerland, and they asked me, well, do you eat pasta? Do you eat all? I say, yes, I do. But the pasta is organic. It's gluten-free. My favorite pasta of all time is almond flour pasta, and it's a little pricey, I'm sure these prices on this is going to come down in the future. You know how it is, but there's one company making pasta fettuccine, and it is in the freezer section of some of the Whole Food stores and other stores. So it's called almond flour pasta. There's no wheat in it, and it is the most delicious pasta I have ever had in my life, and I've had all kinds of pastas. So the other thing that people kind of fall down on, and me too sometimes, is sugar. Sugar feeds cancer. Sugar is poison for your body. And some people think, well, evaporated cane sugar, that's so much better. It depends on how much you eat. I would say that the best sugars are coconut. You have coconut sugar, and you can use that in any baking. The other kind of sugar that could be positive would be maple syrup, a little bit of maple syrup, coconut sugar, and agave has a lot of fructose in it, so it's not as healthy as most people think. And stevia, if you get an organic stevia, you can use that, but mix it with coconut sugar so that, because it can have a very bitter taste in baked foods and also when you're drinking something with stevia. So there's options. There are options. I like coconut sugar. I think it's amazing. I love almond flour pasta. It's the best pasta. It's like you're eating in the most, amazing restaurant and having the best pasta you've ever had in your life. So that's what that tastes like. You can tell I love food, but I love food, and it's been over the years trying to find the healthiest food that tastes the best. So that's what I thought we would do today for part of the show, is go over some foods. I do not recommend ever eating canned foods because you have the heavy metals in the can, and the can is lined with plastic. The plastic contains bisphenol A. So also other phenols. So you don't want bisphenol A in anything, whether it's a water bottle that you're drinking from, because bisphenol A is an estrogen. And, we have many kids today and men with large breasts because of the estrogens that are in things that they're eating or drinking. So canned foods contains a plastic. That plastic contains bisphenol A. And then it's a metal can. So underneath that, I suggest that you get a crock pot. Inexpensive. Put some beans in there. Cook them up for 5 hours on slow, make a slow cooker. Put some beans and rice and maybe some of that veggie meat in there, and make a chili. Make lentil soup in it. Lentils are fantastic and healthy. And, you could make anything in there. So You don't have to sit there by the stove and constantly attend to it. You just dump it into a crock pot, turn it on, follow the directions, and by the time you come home from work, it'll be done and dinner will be served. So that is good for really busy people. The other thing we want to do is take a look at what's happening with the flu, okay? So we have various times of the year where it's flu season, or, where they're really promoting the flu shots. There is nothing healthy about a flu shot. It is toxic. Many people get sick after having it, but one of the things you can do to help your body is to take a homeopathic remedy for preventative purposes. And they do this throughout the rest of the world. Europe, England, people over there, they don't have the flu shots. They have homeopathy, which they take as a prophylactic, as a preventative. You can find out more information and education about that on my website, which is www.wellnesscenter.net. And as a member of our Wellness Center, as a member of Dr. Dale's Wellness Center, you have a lot of education. You have protocols, you have education about healing your body, helping your family, what to eat. But most importantly, you have protocols for healing issues that you may have right now. So I would very much suggest that you become a member. It's only $20 a month for all that education. And so you may want to check into that. Just go to thewellnesscenter.net, click on members, and it will tell you about it. So a protocol is a prescription, but not a medical prescription. It is like a recipe. I'll call it a recipe for healing. In other words, when you get a protocol, you see what to eat, what to do, what to take, what nutritional things to take and to use for a health issue like rheumatoid arthritis, like colds, flus, like hormonal issues, like aches, pains, any kind of disease process. You will have those protocols in our members area. It's a private club, and the membership, all people enjoy the opportunity to become educated and know what to do for themselves and their family. So we want to just do a little bit more today and clean up a little bit on the foods. And I want to talk to you about beef. Even though the beef may be organic, even though it may be grass-fed, it is not the best energy. It's not the best food for the body. Bison is a little better. There's less fat, and they're not allowed to pump them up with antibiotics or hormones. So throughout the whole history of bison, none of the relatives, none of the tribe, they're all the bisons, none of them have ever had antibiotics or hormones, which is not the same with beef. So in beef, you could have genetic things there that, that could be present, even though that particular animal that you're eating is organic. So I think bison is a better choice if you want red meat. And because I know that they are protected animals in a way where they're native, and we know that they're not allowed to give them any kinds of antibiotics or hormones. So, and other like wild animals like venison, okay, if it's from the wild, could be very, very good, very tasty. There's elk. There's all kinds of meats and foods that if you wanted to go that way, that would be better than beef. So we have to look carefully at what we're putting on the table for our family and what we're eating ourselves, because if we if we have a family, we want to be really strong for them, to be there for the children, to be as healthy as possible. And the only way to do that is to feed yourself right and keep your immune system strong. And what kind of things cause your immune system to be weak? Sodas, ice cream with, sugar, pies, donuts, all of the junk food that you can find out when you travel and you see all of the junk food stops and places to pick up things. That lowers your immune system, as well as emotions. Like if you carry anger and frustration and hatred, okay, all of that lowers your immune system. It's not healthy. So if you have emotions that are causing you to be unhealthy, I would suggest that you work on it. You can do that in a couple of ways. You don't have to go to see a therapist for 20 years or 10 years or 5 years or even 1 year. What you need to do is to look into the neuro-emotional remedies on my website, and even most importantly is get the book Transform Your Emotional DNA, and also get the Meta Wellness Home Study Program, or the Meta Wellness Program. And this is a way for you to uncover your unconscious belief systems and identities, and guide you to releasing them permanently, and also understanding about belief systems, identities, and emotions, and giving you tools to help you handle them. And so this is not a talk it out thing. It's a workbook. It's a complete program with the neuroemotional remedies. So that is what I strongly recommend. Also, you might want to start with reading Transform Your Emotional DNA. That will give you a good leg up, so to speak, on your emotions and on the anatomy of an illness. If you want to look at illness, let's look at the anatomy of an illness. Like, what makes up an illness? Well, there is an emotional component to every disease, to everything. If I'm unhappy today, and if I ate something that's not good, you would think, oh, it's the food. Maybe you have food poisoning, but there could also be emotional components to make you react that way. So we're always having to look and to grow. I mean, that's part of life. That's what's so great about life. We wake up in the morning and we have a new opportunity. As we wake up in the morning, we could do things differently that day. We could start that day completely new and start generating and creating positivity in our life. So we have that opportunity. Let's take it. I want to just take a moment to discuss the California College of Natural Medicine. So many people have said to me, oh, I have always wanted to be a healer. I want to help people. I help people in my life by recommending natural things, and I would love to do that, but I don't want to go to school for 6 to 9 years. How do I do that? Well, if you go to the California College of Natural Medicine, you will see courses there, trainings there online that are 1.5 years, 2 years, 2.5 years, depending upon the training. And one of these phenomenal training is clinical nutrition. It's our most popular training. Another one is the homeopathic medical practitioner. They're both online. And then we have the naturopathic practitioner training, which is both online and residential. So if you really want to help others, you can do that. And when you graduate from the California College of Natural Medicine, you can open up your own practice in California. So check that out at www.cconm.com. That's cconm.com. Okay, well, we're going to move along right now to all of the things, when I watch the news and I watch all of the health issues and what came to me is the Zika virus issue that they're still watching very carefully in the United States. And, it was very interesting. I don't know if you remember seeing this on the news, but months ago in Miami or in a certain part of Florida, there was a half a mile or less that was all the mosquitoes in that area had Zika virus. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what is attracting them to that area? And here's the thing. You want to make sure that your immune system is really strong so that whatever bites you, if it has something, that you're not going to get it, that your immune system can instantly fight it off. Here's how you do that. You do two things. You take Allflu, ALLFLU. It's for any kind of flu virus, whether it's bird flu, whether it's swine, pig flu, whatever kind of flu they can create. It's going to happen. It's going to work. And you take that monthly as a preventative. And then also you work with the Whole Body and Immune Pro, which is a organic herbal supplement, non-GMO, no radiation, no flow agents, and it's in a veggie cap, and you take that every day for your immune system. So you take like 1 or 2 pills a day. That's all you need to help your immune system on a regular basis. So prevention is where it's at, and we have to really understand that the immune system is the key to your getting things or getting a disease or not getting a disease. It's also your emotion, so immune system and emotion. There is a branch of science called psychoneuroimmunology at UCLA, and they have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that emotions can cause disease because it actually weakens the immune system so much. So every illness has emotional components, one or more, and those emotional components have an identity. And that identity stimulates belief systems, and those belief systems stimulate emotions. Could be hundreds of emotions, could be hundreds of belief systems from one identity. So the key is to read, to do the Meta Wellness program, and to look in many places for help to be able to make changes. And that's why we're talking about diet today, is very important. Zika virus, what do you do if you have it? Okay, what do you do if you didn't take care of your immune system and you have it? Well, one of the most important things is to use homeopathy, because it works so well with your immune system. It makes your immune system like a super immune system. And so Allflu is very good. The Whole Body Deep Cleanse is very good. Ocean Meds is very good. Ionic Silver, which you'll find on my website, Ionic Silver, it's a super silver, and you spray that in your mouth every day, on your toothbrush every day, making sure that everything is clean. Now, what is silver? Well, bandages today, the pad part is lined with ionic silver because it kills bacteria. Okay, it just kills it. And that's why they're using it today in hospitals on bandages, because bacteria doesn't grow. So now you can get it in a bottle. You can go to my website. It's Ionic Silver. You can spray it in your mouth, on your toothpaste, and this will keep your immune system strong. The other thing is making sure you have enough probiotics in your system. Earlier we talked about raw fermented foods like cabbage, sauerkraut. We talked about how raw probiotic fermented foods also comes in. They have it in beets and zucchini and ginger, garlic, all kinds of that. So eating a little bit of that every day with your meal, maybe a tablespoon or two, is very important. Also taking a food plant-based vitamin C, very important. So 3,000 to 4,000 milligrams a day would be the best thing for you. And many people say to me, what about our structure? Like, I have a lower back problem. I have discs that are protruding. I have all kinds of structural issues. Well, the thing that I'm going to suggest for you will work with so many different kinds of conditions, and it's something that would help you in so many ways. One of them is, it's called biofilm detox. It's strongest enzymes on the planet. It just releases and neutralizes and absorbs all of the inflammation. Biofilm detox. And the other one is raw nattokinase. Raw nattokinase will take away pain. It will help the vertebrae in the discs and take away the inflammation. So those two together are amazing for any structural issues. And let's face it, it's easy to have a structural issue if you play sports, if you walk or run up and down the stairs, if you twist the wrong way. Sometimes people just pick something up the wrong way. They bend down to pick something up and, the back goes out. All right? And so you need to have tools in order to fix it, and that's going to a chiropractor. But it's also taking the right enzymes and the right products to help dissolve the inflammation, which also, these things also work on scar tissue. So we definitely want to have a natural approach to healing whatever the problem it is, whether it's structural, whether it's chemical, meaning that our nutrition is bad and we're toxic from eating pesticides and all of the radiation in fish and all of those things, or whether it's electromagnetic from our cell phone, from radiation. So we have to look at those three areas, the chemical, the structural, electromagnetic, and we as human beings have what it takes to find answers. And so that's what I have given you today. I've given you some really good answers. I would love to hear from you. So feel free to go to our website at wellnesscenter.net, wellnesscenter.net. And we will be back with you next week. And Mark Allen will be here. So we will be discussing minerals next week. We will be discussing so many things that are important to your health. And the biggest thing today, just to give a very brief recap, is food, 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 healthy drink, veggie drinks, and I would say 2 to 3 liters at least of water a day. I want to thank you so very much. This is Dr. Theresa Dale signing off with your Natural Health Radio.